Hey, this is Nick from Houseplant. Today I'm going through the grow tents and showing some new leaves, some emergence, a little bit about what's growing right now. I figured I'd start off with this guy here. It's a pure luxurians. I'm growing it since it was a little seedling. This is the most recent leaf that it's hardened. It started flowering for me. It's working on another leaf now. I ended up pulling out the flower. It was going to be too small to do anything with. And given how long it takes Lux to berry, I want to be very selective about what pollen I put on it. So I'm okay waiting till the flowers are a little bit bigger. Pretty silver color. It'll start to lose that with some size, but right now it's holding it nice and pretty. It's in one of these square pots. I get a lot of questions about them. They're not Lechuza. They're just off of Amazon. A little bit annoyed by the seller. They've like doubled the price over the last probably like 18 months. I don't know. They're just starting to get to the point where for how poor the quality is, it's really not worth the price. But anyways, added a extender to help root more of the stem because it was getting quite long. On the topic of luxurians here, we've got the Anthurium hobgoblin. So this guy put out this big leaf right here. Okay. It's got full of water, so it's a little bit heavy. See this big, beautiful dark leaf here on the hobgoblin. So this leaf just finished expanding. It's still at the phase where it's going to color up some more. But very happy that this plant is growing. Yeah, it's a nice huge leaf, and it's actually started its next leaf already. So I think it took a huge pause after the repot. That's pretty normal. But now that it's all nice and rooted, lots of new growth is going to be on the way. Yeah, it's pretty exciting. It looks like it wants to flower, so that'd be really awesome to begin working on hybrids with this plant. I already have one in mind I want to do, but that one requires a little bit more planning and work. So for the time being, I'm just very excited that this plant is happy, healthy, and growing again. I absolutely love this hybrid. I think it's one of the most stunning Anthurium out there. Just the deep bolation and the color it gets from the Dressleri is beautiful. Okay, all right, I guess I should say this is a hybrid of luxurians crossed with Dressleri, and then that plant again crossed with Dressleri. It was created originally by J. Vanini. Another plant that's been having a bit of a moment recently is this Dorito port here. This leaf it just finished putting out. It's pretty big. This plant is absolutely voracious. It is always working on a new leaf, and it's just sizing beautifully now. Before too long, it'll definitely be a huge plant. And I can definitely say it because it's already putting out its next leaf, and this one just finished. So it's definitely just has not quit. It's continuing to just put the leaves out super fast. It's pretty exciting because from this point on, it's going to start getting a lot more of that port shape as the leaf continues to widen. Very similar to how the DF grows its new leaves and the shape evolves with time. This guy is at Cataphil. I'm guessing it's going to be at least a few more leaves before any flowers happen, just given how sort of immature the spot where the flower emerges from looks. And if you're looking for the origin of this plant, it is originally from Enid over at NSE. And it used to be called the NSE port, but that name has since been reassigned to a different one after Scott began mostly selling this one as a Dorito port. And I guess since we're on the topic, I'll show you this here. This is what is now called the NSE port. You can see quite a different leaf shape. It gets a lot more of sort of extreme spiky lobes. Hold it. See, cute little emergent here. This guy's been growing well too. Ports definitely grow really fast. So that's been a pleasant surprise. It's been no problem, smooth sailing since I got it. Just put it in the pot and it's just kind of taken off. Really well rooted on the surface here. Yep. Nice, long, very extreme shaped leaves. This one here, definitely one of the stars of the show. It's the Tazula Ace of Spades dark form. This leaf right here is still emergent, and that's why it hasn't quite fully darkened up yet. You can see just how insanely dark this plant gets. Yeah, put out this huge leaf. I definitely didn't expect it to size so much on this leaf. Great increase from this leaf here. Yeah, it's been rooting great. This is the third leaf at Cataphil. So Yeah, it should definitely have some hybrids with this one before too long. You just have it here in the tree fern bark and pond mix. Yeah, it's nice and rooted, and I've been absolutely spamming pictures of this emergent on the story. And I mean, I think it's just the most like quintessential dark Anthurium. Yeah, get a little bit closer to the camera. For this next one here, I'm going to move you into the tent. Here we've got the SP Nova TF. Unfortunately, it hasn't really worked on a new leaf this month. The reason I'm going to include it is because it's got this nice flower right here. I'm going to try and reach in and pull it. So it's at the pollen phase right now. I did attempt to pollinate it. We'll see if that goes anywhere. But I figured it'd be fun to share an update on this plant since I haven't really shown it on the channel all that recently. And that's just because after a repot it took it quite a bit to bounce back. So I guess since I've got you in the tent, I put it next to this guy here. Show you the Voldemort. It's doing well. It's working on another flower, and I guess I can update you guys on the hybrid I didn't want to share last time since it has successfully taken. Here we go. Here's the inflow. I'm going to flick on the purple lights. Sorry for the color. Just so we get a little bit more light in here. It's going to be a little... Oh, it's not going to want to focus, is it? Okay. Well, we're just going to hope it focuses enough. You can see the inflow started to turn green. And I did pollinate this with another pap. So I'm going to turn the purple back off. Get back here. So I pollinated actually with the Papilolaminum RA6. So that'll be another, that's a different, very loby pap. So they have very complementary shapes, so it should make a really nice pure pap. Don't think I'm going to show you much else in this tent. Got the Fort Sherman X-Self back there. It hasn't really done anything. The BVEP here is just not having its best time. The BVEP here just isn't having the best time aesthetically, but it's completely healthy. It's just been busy making inflows and running its leaves into the bottom of the pot. Okay, back to the counter. Okay, another one of those new plants that's been doing well is this Carla RA66RA5. I showed it in a recent video, so the new plants I've been hiding, and you can see first leaf in my care and now second leaf in my care. It's doing a good size up. It's got the beautiful Carla color. So very excited to be growing this one, and not much more to say other than it's doing really well. Putting out nice pretty leaves. It's been really a treat to grow. Just checking to make sure it has some water since the pot feels a little bit light. Here's Carlavaceae 6 crossed with Carlavaceae 5. Hey, here's another pretty new plant to the collection. This is my Pap RA6. Got a nice new leaf here. I don't know if the sparkles are going to come through, but the leaf has these like really shiny little particles. Very pretty. That's been another one that's been growing really, really fast. Doing well. See, there's the hardened color on the previous leaf. This is still like a very fresh leaf. Yeah, not really much more to say. It's been great. Rooted great. Definitely a very vigorous plant. I'm very pleased to grow it. If you're wondering how I had a flower from this plant to pollinate the Voldemort, the person who sold me this plant wanted to collab on the Voldemort. So they obviously have a much bigger RA6 if they're selling pieces, and so they gave me some pollen so we could do a hybrid together. This plant did not produce the flower. Okay, this video, like any of my videos, wouldn't be complete if I didn't show you far too many Ace of Spades. So here's the other Ace of Spades. See, it's been doing really well. It has this nice huge leaf, two beautiful dark leaves. So this is the most recent one. Pretty soft still. Doesn't quite have the full color yet, but yeah, just another pretty, very dark plant. It's been doing great. And again, I have it on the front of the shelf here. So getting about 120 ppfd. It's right above, right on the other side of this panel here is a 40 watt, full spectrum LED light. Yeah, very nice plant. It's been a great grower too. It Came to me, like I said, in a bit of a rehab state, had some ace pox and some other things going on, but pretty much immediately just sort of took off once it got a repot and was taken out of moss. I guess I'll bring you into the tent for this next one again. Okay. I can't really show it all in frames, so we're going to go from the bottom all the way up to the top. That is the Wendlingeri. This is the NSC Wendlingeri I propped in previous video. So I know I had some questions about if it would be okay doing that super aggressive top cut. You can see the plant is unchanged. I hit something on the light. I'm gonna take you up. I don't know how clearly you can see it, but you see the chopsticks in there. I have those wedged in the place where the petiole connects to the stem, deep into the substrate as a way of sort of holding it in spot while it roots, because otherwise the weight of it would just rip it right out of the pot. I don't really think there's anything else I want to update in the tent. You know, lots of happy plants. Any day now on these best be that to you, not the camera. Mm-hmm. I literally thought this one had popped. Next up we've got this Anthurium Wonder Boy. So this is the plant that a lot of those red crystal dock blocks, they all come from. Originally created by Tim Anderson. This one, however, has been bred further by Scott Cohen, and that's where it comes from. It's got the beautiful red emergent. Not quite at the maximum point as, you know, the emergent color, but very pretty still. And here's the previous leaf. This is another one that started growing pretty fast again now that it's rooted out its pot. I know I had it in my slow Anthurium video. It's now taken off again. I'm very happy to see that. Beautiful emergence. So I prop 2 leaf chopping. Next up we've got this Anthurium papilolaminum. This is the Regardens clone. It's doing the beautiful canal pap things. Nice shape, the sort of wide sinus, and fold it up so you can see. Pretty reddish backs. Not the most intense red, but still quite nice. And then of course it has the beautiful dark foliage. I hope this leaf turns out okay. It's doing a lot of resting and rubbing on the edge of the pot, so not much I can do about that. It's just at that awkward phase where its petioles aren't quite long enough to get it out and clear of the pot. Can't complain, the thing's growing really well. Here you guys go. Probably one of the updates I'm most excited about, and that's on the Speciaaf X BVEP inflow. So the mother plant is the Speciaaf, and I put BVEP pollen on it. Pollinated this guy on March 5th. It's been a bit of time, but you can see we're very close to the harvest at this point. It could be any day now. So I'm very, very excited for that. I think Best BVEP makes some super nice hybrid seedlings. I think that's all I want to show you inside the tent. I'm going to pull out the last few things. This is a Forgetii Ilex, and what I'm loving about it right now is this flower actually smelled insane amount, like an insane amount of roses. It was super duper strong, like fully like you're in a rose garden level rose smell. Here's a cute little Forgetii red crystal. I'm going to show it to you for like 2 seconds because this is in front of a plant I want to pull out. Now everyone's here for the Anthurium, but thought I'd show you this albo. Giving me some nice sectoral variation on this leaf. Took a very aggressive top cut of it. Clearly no ill effects. Yeah, I think it's always fun. And another really pretty monstera is this Devon's Thai Aurea. It's got beautiful, nice variegation. I think the one thing I'm not the biggest fan of with this plant is how easily and quickly it browns. I know this is a pretty high sectoral leaf plant, but it's just a little bit disappointing. It's like this leaf only just finished hardening and it's already, you know, browning away all the sectoral. I've been propping it, trying to get one that's super duper marbly to see if it holds up a little bit better to the browning. I know another thing I could do is give it a lot more light. I am giving the plant silica still. I think it's just one of the things that this, and I think a lot of other Monstera Aurea do, is they just brown really easily. Guess while we're in Monstera world, I figured I'd pull out this mint. Can't remember if I showed it in a video recently, but this new leaf is absolutely to die for. Just about everything I want in a mint. You've got lots of different 1, 2, and 3 layer variegation. Just makes for an absolutely beautiful sort of, I want to say grayscale, but green scale. And you know, it hardens down to a nice whitish color, but right now I'm really enjoying the green. Okay, I'm going to pull out a couple small ones, and then I think I'm going to wrap things up. Didn't want to do a full tour, but I feel like I almost ended up doing that. Ace of Spades ex Cunia lens, a nice new emergent leaf. Took a little bit of damage, just like love the color this plant gets. Really took after the ace for the color, and the Cunia lens for the texture. It's so velvety. Couldn't resist including this one. I'm going to put a cheeky one in here. This is Ace of Spades crossed with a BVEP. Couldn't resist putting it in. I think last time I showed it, someone commented that the plant was sick. So just wanted to show that no, the plant is not sick. It was just an emergent leaf. A little bit petty, sure, but also an excuse to show you how beautiful and dark this plant gets. I think I'm going to wrap it there. Thank you everybody for watching. Really appreciate it. If you could give a like and a subscription, that'd be great. Otherwise, you know, feel free to comment, you know, what your favorite plant was or any questions you have down below. I love getting to chat with you guys in the comments. Anyways, have a good one. Bye.